card grinding, de-looting, and moving base. Welcome back to another episode of Arco Plays Vault Hunters. We now have lots to do for today's episode, and I am super duper excited. But before we get into those things, let me give you a very quick update. For starters, we are now level 52. We recently did a live stream where we did a bunch of plunder vaults. We did one regular crystal vault just to hit us to that level 52. During that, we completed a legendary bounty, and we got ourselves a brand new deck, the Lost Deck. We also got a bunch new cards, as you may be able to tell. One of them being a super duper important card. Poison Nova card. +1 level to Poison Nova if there is at most one column card. This has been a massive upgrade to our overall damage, and right now this build is so much fun. That being said, as eventually at some point I do want to switch our build and try something different, but I do think also before we do that I want to refine this Poison Nova build. You see, one thing I want to do with this series is test out a bunch of builds, refine them over and over and over again until we get to a point where we're really happy. And then when we're really happy, that is when I will release builds for you guys. Now, in the description of every single episode, I believe from episode 2 onwards, I am pasting my build in case if you do want to try it out in its current state. But eventually, we're also going to have finalized builds in that description, i.e. a finalized Poison Nova build, a finalized Javelin build, stuff like that. And believe me, there's a lot of things I do want to try out. Now, recently on a live stream, I talked about Vault Hunters, and in particular this series. The goal of this series, originally, was to do about 10 episodes, roughly. 10 to maybe 15 episodes, play through the mod pack, complete the mod pack, and be done with it. However, my plans have now changed. I want to go mega. So we are probably going to be moving base. In fact, actually, you may have noticed in the top left and throughout me walking through my base here, a bunch of question marks. What are those question marks? I'm glad you asked. Base locations. Right now, you'll be seeing on your screen a screenshot with a number for each potential base location. I want you guys to decide where we set up a mega base. In terms of the theme of the build, I'm not super fussed. I'm more than happy to kind of do whatever, but the most important part is actually picking the location. So either in the comment section down below, Discord or Twitter, let me know which number for base locations you prefer most. One with the highest votes we will go for. If there are any tiebreakers, I will decide the tiebreaker. Some very quick micromanagement updates as well. You may have noticed we did expand out here a little bit, although I don't think we're gonna do too much more with this base area. And we removed our jewels area and put it into a refined storage system. You may have noticed our tool's about to break. So I think one of the first things we're going to have to do in today's episode is make a new tool. Now, unfortunately, I was going to make a hammer, but you may notice we only have one hammer jewel, and to be honest, I want to use it for a vanilla tool because it already has vanilla immortality on it. So I think we're just gonna make another Paxel. Okay, so I've been playing around with the jewels for this tool quite a fair bit. I'm not after any of the affinities, but I am after a lot of copiously, durability, reach. Those were the main 3 things, but we don't have a lot of jewels at the moment. However, I have made something pretty decent. So obviously the flat stats of 9 mining speed and 4096 durability is really nice. We have then added, obviously, we've got the picking. We've added 40.1 mining speed, which I think is still fairly decent. That put us at a total of 49.1. We've got the shoveling. We got the soulbound. We got 0.9 reach. I didn't have have a crazy amount of reach, unfortunately. So it's the one that I couldn't really get a whole lot of. We've got axing, we've got copiously at 20.4%, which is definitely not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. We got item rarity, which does nothing to this tool. We got plus 1,858 durability, but more importantly, we've got 101% vanilla immortality, meaning this tool in vanilla is unbreakable, which will be really helpful for a lot of things. I mean, ideally I would want this on a hammer, but I've saved a lot of really good vanilla immortality just by like playing around with some of the gems that we had. I believe one hit right here plus 25% for a size 10 I managed to save just by like cutting down some of these. This one, I think, for example, we cut down a bit and we were able to put this on and take one of these off. There's only one jewel, which is just this one here, that isn't... Oh no, there's two. That isn't a size 10. We got another one right here. Might be able to change that one out. Let me have a little look here. Where was that jewel? So it was 2.8. So this is 2.5. So we're actually losing out. Durability we would gain. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I am willing to replace that. I feel like this is very good for right now. For what we've got jewel wise, I think this is... It will do. Yeah, let's pull the trigger. Ooh, this is gonna be so much fun. I cannot wait. I've also completely forgot to mention, I have spent a lot of knowledge. See, as we've been doing plunder vaults and just I think 1 or 2 regular crystals that we did, I've gained quite a lot of knowledge, but I spent it on a lot of tedious stuff. So we've got auto feeding now. We've got stack upgrades. I don't know if we had that before. We got belts as well as Torchmaster. Just very little upgrades that I have made. You may have also noticed we now have an infinite water bucket, and I have toyed around a lot with my backpacks. They should be very different now. Yeah, I believe the only actual backpack that has changed is our scav bag, which is the belt. We've basically moved a lot of the items that we defuse for soul shards in here. I also need to decide what else, because we've got 3 rows of space available. So I need to decide what else we can put in here. Something that we get like a lot of. I'm not entirely too sure. So if you have any ideas, do make sure to let me know down in the comment section below. And then obviously we still got this backpack, which I showed off earlier. This backpack's doing perfectly fine, and I think this backpack's probably never going to change because it's just really easy access for fruits, for repairing and stuff like that halfway through a vault. So now that we are all geared up, I think we run some vaults. Well, we died. Unfortunately. I can't believe I was literally 1 millisecond off from surviving that vault, and also, I am out for Scav Vault Revenge. That is the 4th scavenger hunt vault that we have been 1 item off from completing. And it has been really, really bugging me. But I took the frustration out of that death onto modular routers. Now I know eventually we might be moving base. However, I wanted to get this set up because this is going to make things so much faster. Let me show you how this works. In this backpack right here, which is the majority of the items that we need to filter into refined storage usually end up in this backpack. So let's end up putting a bunch of compressed cobblestone, place the backpack here, and you can see, boom, it is now being completely sucked out. So what's happening is this puller module is sucking items from an invisible chest that is up there where that backpack is, and then the sender module is sending it to this interface, and then this interface is obviously connected up to our refined storage. Along with a bunch of speed and stack upgrades, it does it very, very quick. But we're not done there. You see, I have been working hard on this area over here. Now, unfortunately, we are probably going to end up moving, so a lot of this is subject to change again, but we have started to mess with cagerium. So far, I have managed to finally, and I mean finally, get myself a wither skeleton spawner egg. And this took so many rerolls, it was unbelievable, but now that we have it, we are producing wither skulls by the butt ton. And because of this is now allowing us to slowly but surely build more cageriums, and we've now got a gas and a slime. But modular routers is working here as well. Cagerium will always deposit the loot that the mob should be dropping in a chest that is underneath it. Modular router over here is basically going to be pulling from every single ornate chest around here, and then it sends it into our drawer system. This drawer system has void upgrades. This is just to prevent overflow. I do still need to make some storage stack upgrades, at least for the ones that are empty, but we are slowly but surely going to fill this out with a bunch of farming stuff. I might also put compacting drawers for stuff like cobblestone, dirt, diorite, andesite, all those types of vanilla blocks that you get a lot of. And then we'll put a couple of stacks upgrades, and then we'll put some void upgrades in there as well. This is all just to super compact our system, our storage system, so that we... Ooh, I ran out of power. Doesn't usually happen. Yeah, that's a little bit concerning that we're not able to store enough power. I mean, I guess... Yeah, I guess we have added a lot more stuff to the system now, so maybe we need to upgrade our power source. So the reason why we're storing a lot of things in drawers and separating it from refined storage is, well, quite simply, it saves us disk space. One of the main problems I'm having at the moment is I'm constantly having to craft new disks, and it is getting more and more and more expensive the more I do it. So I feel like maybe adding more external storages for things and voiding some things could help in the long run for our storage system. Okay, this problem is making me think we should open up these 51 mod boxes we got. So I figured out what the problem is. The interface is just draining a bit too much power, so I'm gonna see if we can try to get some cool stuff from power, hopefully. And some upgrades as well from drawer, which we need. Thermal generator basic. Another thermal generator basic. How does this work? I think I know how that works. I think it's water, and then it needs a heat source underneath it. Oh, is that an upgraded one? Hardened, okay. That could work for us. Ooh, ender cell. Is that a... It's just a Fernator. It's a blazing Fernator though. It's a lot of FE. Oh, we got a solar panel. Hardened, nice. That's an upgrade on what we got right now. That's it. I'm gonna have a play around with some of these things we got and see. I'll bring you guys back and see if we can fix this energy issue. I have now solved all energy crisis problems. Well, for me at least. See, it took a little while. I had to do a bunch of crafting, and I did use quite a few of the stuffs that we got, but we now have a setup that is, well, producing more than enough energy than we could ever need. It's a pretty simple setup. We just got 2 thermal generators, as well as 2 solar panels that are just connected to an ender cell, and they are transmitting energy. So the energy gets put into here, which then gets transmitted to right here, which is connected to our entire system. And we now should have more than enough energy, well, for forever, pretty much. In the future, if we do need more energy, there are probably other better solutions that we can do rather than doing a whole bunch of the same type of energy sources. Because I do know you can make reactors from the powah mod, which I'd imagine produce quite a lot of energy, but we do not need that energy just yet. But with that being said, unfortunately, I have to cut this episode quite short. See, I've been very, very busy IRL with work and life in general, that I haven't had much time to be able to record this episode, and I'm having to put it all together quite last minute. So I do apologize for that. However, as you are watching this right now, I am live on Twitch. I'm going to be running quite a few vaults, probably discussing more about base plans. And maybe we might also start working a little bit more on cagerium, try to get it completed. However, it is also very expensive, so I highly doubt that this will be a thing. But if you're interested in watching, especially if you enjoy watching full-on vault runs, I would highly recommend coming joining us over on Twitch. And once again, I do want to say thank you so much, guys, for the support on this series. It has actually been kind of overwhelming, not gonna lie, but I appreciate it a lot. So with that being said, please like the video, subscribe if you are new, share it with your friends and family, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.